What's up, kings and queens? It's your boy Dan from Daft Previews, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you 6 different picks for this Thursday night football game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons. I'm not going to waste your time talking about how these teams played last week, what my opinions are on the spreads and the totals. So let's just jump straight into the bets. But before I do, I ask that you help this channel grow. We're close to 10,000 subscribers. Like, subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a comment in the algorithm. Tell me, out of all these bets that I share with you today, which ones do you like the most? Now, I have saved my best bet for this game till last, so make sure you stick around to the end. And if that sounds interesting, let's go. So we're jumping into Outlier, my go-to tool for doing all my research on all these player props. All I'm going to say is that you have to check these guys out. I've got a 7-day free trial in the video description below. Go get it. Now, let's jump straight into these picks, shall we? So we're looking at Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. And my first pick, we're going with something that's plus money, and I'm going with my man, Cade Otton. Now for Cade, I'm looking at his receptions in this game, and we're looking at the over 3.5. This is a plus money play, and you know how I feel about plus money. I freaking love it. Now, he's over in his last 2 games, 7 and 6 receptions with a 22% target share. He's also getting volume. He's on the field for 91% of the snaps. Matchup is great, given the Falcons allow the 7th most receptions and the 9th most receptions to tight ends. Tampa, very pass-heavy offense. They throw the ball 61% of the time, regardless of the game script. If they're winning, they're going to throw it. If they're losing, they're definitely going to throw it. Now, tight ends against Atlanta this season have been feasting quite a bit. Juwan Johnson, 2 receptions from 3 targets, but the New Orleans Saints, they got the 2nd highest run rate in the league this season. Travis Kelce, he had 4 receptions from 5 targets, and he's having a really quiet year. Dallas Goedert, 3 receptions from 4 targets. Pat Frymuth, 4 receptions from 4 targets. Now, in the last 2 weeks, Cade Otton has the 3rd most targets out of all tight ends this season. I love this play because the opportunities are going to be there, and the matchup is great. And it's also plus money. So give me that, Cade Otton. Next up is Bijan Robinson. Now, I did think about taking the under in his rushing yards in this game, given his recent form and that hamstring injury that kind of slowed him down throughout the week. But instead, we're looking at over here for his receiving yards, over 26.5 receiving yards for Bijan Robinson. Now, he's averaging 33 receiving yards per game this season. He's covered this line in 2 out of 4. Tampa, they also allow the 2nd most reception and receiving yards to running backs. It's pretty wild. He has the 4th highest target share for this team. Outside of the wide receivers, he's got the highest target share. And he's been less effective in the run game compared to Algier, so he should see more usage as a receiver. Now, running backs against this Tampa Bay team this season. Saquon Barkley had 2 receptions, 32 receiving yards. Javonte Williams had 4 receptions and 29 receiving yards. Jahmyr Gibbs and Montgomery, they combined for 11 receptions and 57 receiving yards. And then Austin Eckler and Brian Robinson combined for 7 receptions and 101 receiving yards. Now, running backs have been feasting on this team. And in this game, I can see Bijan doing the same, receiving the shit out of this ball, because I know he's probably not going to be doing too much work on the ground. And for my 3rd pick, we're looking at Kirk Cousins, and we're looking at his passing touchdowns. And I'm looking at an under on Captain Kirk today. Now, he's only exceeded this line in 1 out of 4 games this season. He had 2 passing touchdowns against Philly, and that's the only game where I would say the Falcons have looked good. Now, last week, they had 0 passing touchdowns against the Saints. I think they scored their touchdowns with, special teams, defensive teams at a pick 6. Now, he's up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who allow the fewest passing touchdowns this season. In fact, Tampa have only allowed 1 passing touchdown all season. Now, Atlanta's team total for this game is at 22.5, which tells me that the Bucs, they expect the Falcons to score about 2 touchdowns. Now, if they do score 2 touchdowns, do you think they're both passing touchdowns from Kirk? Fuck no, which is why I like the under here. So take Kirk Cousins under 1.5 passing touchdowns. And before we get into my best bet of the day, I ask everybody to subscribe to my free picks on Winnable. I'll share a free pick every day, and it's not limited to the picks that I put out on YouTube. All you have to do is this. Click on the link in the video description below or the pinned comment. It's going to take you here. Subscribe to my free plan. It's that easy. Punch in your details. Costs you $0. Subscribe to that, and then you get my free picks every single day. From time and time again, I share my VIP picks in the free plan, which means you get everything. So there's really nothing to lose. Sign up to the free plan on Winnable. You will not regret it. You can see here, 1,200 people have already done the same. So we're jumping into my favorite pick of the day. Tyler Algier, over 34.5 rushing yards. Outliers got it at 36.5, but you do your line shopping, you should be able to find 34.5 out there. If not, I'd play this up to 40, if I'm being honest with you. Now, he's over this line in 2 out of 4 games this season. He's averaging 41.5 rushing yards per game. Now, he has an excellent matchup given the Bucs. They allow the 6th most yards per carry on the ground. They give it the 4th most rush yards overall, and they have a Falcons quarterback up against them that doesn't run, and they've got an RB1 who's carrying a hamstring injury. Now, Tyler's been more effective than Bijan Robinson on the ground this season. Plus, Bijan, if he's carrying that hamstring injury, I do see Tyler getting an uplift in his workload. He's averaging 6 yards per carry right now and would only need 6 carries to hit this line. In his last 3 games, he's had 9, 7, and 8 rush attempts. So given the extra opportunity and the great matchup, I can see him going well over this line. So Tyler Algier, he's my favorite pick of the day. I've got 2 extra picks to share with you guys. Being transparent with you, I haven't bet these yet, but I'm very close to. My only hesitation in it is the fact that I've already got so many bets on one game already. But I want to take you through it all anyway, more value, and you might want to put these things down. So I'm looking at Bucky Irving, and I'm looking at his rushing yards for this game. One of the hesitations I have on this is that the line has moved up quite quickly. Opened at 42. It's already up to 43 in some place. Opened at 38, my bad. And it's up to 43 already. So regardless, looking at the over here for Bucky Irving, I still think it's a good look. He's up against a Falcons rush defense as bottom 10 in the NFL in rushing yards per game. Irving been a much more effective runner than Rashad White so far this season, averaging 5.8 yards per carry compared to White 2.8 yards per carry. Last week, they beat Philly 33-16. Irving notched 10 rushing attempts last week, which is excellent because he hasn't hit double digits all season. And if he maintains this type of volume and he stays true to his 5.8 yards per carry, then he only needs 8 carries to get over this rushing prop. Now, given he's had 19 carries in the last 2 weeks, if this volume continues, he's going over this line. My last look, we're looking at Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin, got him on my fantasy team. He's been absolutely killing it this season. But I think looking at his receptions could be a good play here. This play is absolutely juiced to the gills at minus 150. So straight betting probably isn't an option for me. But I know some people like to bet straight bets at these odds. But I also know a lot of you guys like to run some parlays. So Chris Godwin over 5.5 receptions is what I'm looking at. Godwin, he's covered this line in all 4 games this season, 8, 7, 6, and 6. He's averaging 6.75 receptions per game. He is Baker's favorite target with a 26% target share. He has an excellent matchup given the Falcons allow the 4th most receptions to wide receivers this season. Plus, he's also in a pass-heavy offense that throws the ball 61% of the time. So this is one of those plays where all signs point to yes. He's got recent form. We've got game script. He's got matchup. Chris Godwin go over. I absolutely love it. But at these odds, it's not something I'm willing to play straight up. In a parlay, you could get my attention. Now, my parlays, I share all these picks with VIP. If you're interested in check those out, get the free winnable first. Have a taste of what's going on there. You'll get updates on how VIP is progressing anyway. If it's something you want to jump into, I'm sure I'll get promotion codes or discounts or whatever. So those are 6 picks for this game coming up on Thursday night. You find me another YouTube channel who's giving you this much value. If you liked what you saw today, smash that like button. Remember to comment down low. Let me know which one of these picks do you think is the best. Subscribe if you haven't. We're so close to 10,000. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.